Welcome back into Coach's Corner East, the final winter program of the season here at Colonel Crawford, and final winter program altogether for Coach's Corner East as we finish out the season with 3 spring sports shows, one at Crestline, one at Galion, and one back at here at Colonel Crawford. Shows brought to you in part by the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer straight west of Galion on the Manette New Winchester Road. Sweet Baby Ray Jones and Kendra Weaver at Ohio Door and Sash, 120 South Street in Galion. Mark Osborne at Equine International, Route 598 at the north edge of Galion, as well as Lee Plimo and Brad Seibert at the Plimo Insurance Group, Galion and Bucyrus, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, North Walnut Street, across from the courthouse in Bucyrus. Phil and Sue Schreck at Phil's Deli, just east of the Pizza Hut at the Bridge in Galion, and John Rolls at John's Auto Repair Specialist, 800 Scott Street in Crestline. It's my pleasure to welcome to the microphone somebody that was here a year ago, but in a different role, and she actually said that here a little bit ago. Kaylyn Risner is back, and it's good to see you.
You too.
Now you're the coach of the 7th grade girls team here at Colonel Crawford after coming off a very successful career as a player here at Colonel Crawford. First and foremost, did you volunteer, or did someone come knocking on your door to coach this team?
Well, it was in the talks when Finna was the head coach, like how our 8th grade coach would move up, and I think Bauer knew a little bit about it, and I was staying around here to go to college, so it kind of just worked out, and it worked in my schedule. And then when he asked me, I said yes.
You couldn't resist.
Yeah.
And it allows you to be still involved with the game, a game that you loved so much and had so much success at.
Yeah, it was definitely something to get used to. I knew coming in here it was going to be different as a coach than what it was a player. And I remember at 7th grade, I didn't know it all, so I had to really step back and really learn how to explain the game to where I didn't get the game explained that well just because I was more involved, I felt, with basketball when I was younger. And some of these girls just started this year. It was their first year. So the practices at the beginning of the year, they were really broke down. We were going one-on-one. We were trying to find where the girls would mesh well, who would mesh well together. We were trying to figure out, they were just trying to figure out the roles, and they were trying to figure themselves out this year and as basketball players. So it was all something they were trying to get used to. I was getting used to. They are not used to practicing 5 days a week. They were tired by Thursday, so they definitely were not in shape at first, but we got them in shape, and they worked hard this year.
Well, that's good. Was there ever a point, especially early in the year, the frustration of knowing the ability that you and your teammates had and trying to say, why can't you get to that point, and a little, maybe not outwardly expressed, but in your own heart and your own feeling, what am I doing wrong? Why can't they do what I'm expecting them to do?
It was definitely, we had a 5. We started with a 5. Then we had a girl leave who wasn't our starting 5. She went for a month vacation. She went back to her hometown.
Oh, wow.
So then we had to figure out who was going to step up and take her role in the starting lineup. And I actually have Ash here who came up and took her starting spot, and she continued to start for me for the rest of the year because she came in and took Victoria's starting spot when Victoria was on vacation and filled her role really well.
Yeah, awesome. How many numbers do you have on the team this year?
We had 12. We gained 7. I went to Eastern Ohio with my 7th grade girls this year, and we had 5. We went to Eastern Ohio. We played with 5. We had a 8th grader come down and play with us, so we played at Eastern Ohio with 6. And we were getting a little nervous, like we might have to have an 8th grader come down, which you're really not supposed to do, with only having 5 in case somebody got hurt. But then we gained 7 when Bauer came and had the meeting with the 7th graders. So we had 12 altogether this year. Good.
And I asked the same question to Coach Kennedy. Was it a challenge getting everybody in those shortened games because only 6-minute quarters?
Yeah, it definitely was. I think we had 3 girls on the basketball team that could put the ball in the basket when we needed it. So that helped. Once we got that lead, they knew in the first couple minutes, we had to get points just so everybody could come in. And I think everybody knew their role. They went out there and played they did what they were supposed to do and played how they were supposed to play. So it wasn't a problem getting everybody in. Most people probably didn't like how much they got in, but at least everybody got in every game.
So what was your final record before the tournament?
We finished 14-0.
Wow.
During this season.
And then you ended up blowing through the tournament and became N10 champs, right?
Right.
And did you expect that? I mean, think about this. When you're down at Sherrodsville in the hot of summer in June, you have 5 girls. Did you ever think we're going to be the champions at the end of the year?
I definitely didn't, because at the first practice, there were some girls on my team that didn't know the difference between offense and defense. So I was like, oh, this is going to be a long year. But they came to practice every day and worked hard. So it was all on them, really. They came to practice and did it all.
At what point in the season did you kind of think, wow, we have something pretty special here. This is a great group, and we're on a roll. We're going to do some good things this year. When did that kind of kick in?
It definitely happened after the Winford game, because that was our tough competition this year, and that was the first time that my girls had a team that was the same competition as them. They had girls that could guard my bigs. They had guards that could guard my guards and stop them. And I think that was really an eye-opener for the girls, that, like, we're not, like, the best out here. Like, there are other good teams out here. Because we were, like, we played other girl teams. They were all right, but, like, my guards were quick off the dribble, and not much teams had that. And my bigs, they went to offensive boards, and nobody boxed out. So
So it worked out really, really well. All right, well, let's take a moment and talk to the young ladies around the table. We're brought to you in part by Steve Kurtzman and Associate at Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street in Gallion, Coach Tim Plumley at Mohican Sports Medicine in Bucyrus, John Cross at Cross Carpet and Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street in downtown Crestline. Ash Arroyo is up first, and again, both seventh graders tonight. Thanks so much for coming out. Were you one of the 5 that were down at Sherrodsville in the summer?
No.
Okay, so what was the decision to say, I want to be on this team? What changed your mind?
Definitely playing 6th grade basketball changed my mind. And it was just like where I started like to begin loving basketball, and it made me want to do it again.
Okay, and what position did you play this year?
Post and wing.
Okay, did you have a preference which one you like better?
Post.
All right, now were you asked to be much of a scorer or more of a rebounder?
A little bit of both.
And Coach talked about filling in this role for a starter that had left, and I think it's probably a great lesson for you and for others to say, when your time is called, you have to respond.
Yeah.
We don't always, only 5 players can start, right? But sometimes injuries happen or other things that keep players out, and when there's that knock and on the door, it says, I need you now, you have to be able to respond. Were there nerves on your part when all of a sudden you find out, oh man, I'm starting?
Yeah, because I had like no idea like how to fill her spot and stuff, but like I worked for it, and yeah.
What did you just feel you were getting better then? The more you started, the more confidence that you got in yourself. Yeah, and then probably by the end of the year, it was really sky high. Did you expect early in the year that you guys were going to be champs?
No.
How thrilled were you when you got to raise that trophy up, that undefeated, you guys are the champs?
I'm very thrilled.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, and especially for a first-year coach, I'm sure it was beyond her wildest dreams as well. Now, going as an 8th grader, you're seasoned at the junior high level. What do you need to work on to get better for next year as an 8th grader?
Definitely my shooting and like somewhat of my defense.
If you had a conversation with a 6th grade girl right now, getting ready to be a 7th grade basketball player next year, what would you tell her? What advice would you give her?
I tell her to work hard and listen to the coach and pay attention.
Yeah, very good. Well, best of luck to you. Congratulations on a great year, and I hope it continues to get just better and better each year. I appreciate you coming out. Lily Kierce is here as well. Lily, thanks for coming. And what position on the team?
Post.
You're a post as well. Okay. So you were both playing at the same time, or sometimes you'd go big like that, or?
Sometimes we play at the same time, but there was sometimes a sub for her.
Okay.
But it was, I always cooperated with both of them.
What was the biggest thing the biggest takeaway, let's say, in this year that you took away from it and said, wow, this really made a big impression on me this year? What was that, maybe?
I scored a lot more points than I did. I've scored like a lot more than I thought I would.
Really?
Especially in the tournament games. When one of our starters got hurt, I stepped up and scored some points.
What do you think that was that kind of drove that led you to that? Was it just confidence in yourself, or just had really good open looks and you were hot?
I definitely had to put some confidence in myself. I practice, some at home, but confidence was really the key in that.
Would you say, I know it's tough at an early age getting along with everybody all the time. Do you think this team, for all the success that they had, you guys were all pretty close to one another and friends and just got along?
Yeah.
I would think to some extent you'd have to be that successful. And I know at the junior high level it can get a little bit tough that way. What are you going to need to improve upon before you enter as an 8th grader next year?
Definitely my rebounds and shooting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was definitely some shots I could have gotten that could have made a difference in the game, and we could have gotten more points.
Yeah, just like I told Coach Kennedy, I'm sure Coach over here yelled a couple times during the game, get a body on somebody, box out, right? I'm sure that was said an awful lot, and that's so key, is positioning things along that lines. Are you going to, either of you, doing anything in the spring?
I'm doing track and softball.
Okay, both, okay.
I do travel basketball and softball.
Good for you. All right, very good. You got a full plate, and anything in the fall then, or?
When football season comes around, I do marching band.
Okay, good.
Fall, sometimes I do lifting, but that's usually when I take vacations with my
Yeah,
family.
okay. All
And
right.
I also do volleyball.
Volleyball. These kids are so busy anyway. And it's like I asked some of the guys, when do you have time for school? And they said during the afternoon. So school's not your favorite thing, right?
My schedule works out for my classes, because I don't have them in the morning, which really helps.
Oh, okay.
So I get my work done then.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming. I do appreciate it. Take one final break before we come back to Coach Kaylyn Risner here. Show is brought to you in part by Terry Gribble and Associates at your Gallion Community Center YMCA, Dr. Erica Schubert, Bucyrus Veterinary Service, 222 West Mary Street, Bucyrus, Rod Steiger and Associates at Pizza Hut, Gallion and Bucyrus, host of our show since 1992, and Lou Ann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery, screen printing and signs, the official phone board t-shirt provider, Route 309, across from the Marion Depot. Coach, one of the things I wanted to ask you, Coach Fenner was your coach throughout high school, a legend here, spent so many years here, and she decided not only am I done teaching, I'm done coaching, and Coach Bauer comes in as the freshman boys coach for a number of years and now takes over the girls program, had a really successful year, of course. Was that hard for you growing up and learning under Coach Fenner, but now hearing a different voice and a different concept, both on the offensive end and the defensive end, to say, hey, this is what I want in my program? Was that a challenge for you?
No, we had me, Bauer, and Carly, we had a meeting at the beginning of the year. He pretty much showed us what he expected, what he wanted us to run with the girls. And he gave us the playbook. He wanted us to run the same thing, so when they went to high school, they had a central idea of what they were going to run and do. We had some drills. It wasn't any different. I feel like the coaching aspect, him and Fenner definitely were different, but Bauer came in here and worked good with the girls, and he fit right in with them.
Did you get a lot of feedback, especially at the end of the year, from him on how you did as a coach?
Kinda, not really. Just with him being busy with his basketball girls, we didn't really talk a lot. And with me not really being at the school, I met with him one day when the girls came in to return their stuff, but we didn't really talk that much.
Okay, all right. Now, you said where are you going to school?
I'm going to North Central.
Okay, and you plan on just sticking around here?
Yeah.
All right, now do you want to continue to coach? Is that something, or you don't know yet?
Yeah, it's definitely something. I had a good group of girls this year, and that definitely for the first year of coaching, that helps a lot. And they got along. We didn't have drama. There was one incident, but they just brushed it off. It wasn't a drama-filled group, and they came to practice and worked hard. So it's definitely a good group of girls to have for your first year.
All right. Would it be something you think maybe in the future I may want to do varsity at some point, and that's too early to determine that? Huh?
Yeah, I don't know about all that yet.
Very good. Well, any idea how many? I know hopefully more than 5 down at Sherrodsville, but from the 6th grade level, are there decent numbers there?
There is. They actually have 2 6th grade girls basketball teams this year, and I think they have 20 girls altogether, maybe 22. So there's definitely a handful of 6th grade girls that will be coming up.
Good. Good for you. Well, congratulations on a great experience. Congratulations on winning it all and being Northern 10 champs. And now of course, that means target on your back for next year as 8th graders. Other teams are going to be shooting for you, and there's probably one on the other side of the county that's certainly going to be coming after you. But congratulations. Thanks so much for giving time, and best of luck to you whenever you
Thank
do.
you.
And hopefully produce more and more good talent for Coach Bauer and that staff as well. Very good. Well, thank you very much. Hey, coming up, actually right now, there's a boys high school tournament game on WQEL. It's Crestline and Monroeville are playing right now. They're playing at Ashland Crestview. You can catch that game on WQEL. A little later on tonight, we have more high school tournament basketball, Seneca East and Buckeye Central. That game is at Ashland Crestview High School at 7:30 time approximate. And on WBCO tonight, it's Bucyrus and Northwood from Monroeville High School at 7:30. A slew of games tomorrow. It's girls district tournament basketball, 6 o'clock on WQEL, Mohawk and Hopewell Loudon from Fostoria. Also at 6 o'clock, Upper Sandusky and Clear Fork on WBCO. That game will be at Shelby. At 7:30, Buckeye Central and South Central. That game will be at Willard for a district semi, and Winford Margaretta with Jared Moore at Shelby High School tomorrow night at 7:30 on WBCO. We have Colonel Crawford and Sandusky St. Mary's boys sectional final, 6 o'clock Friday night on WBCO. Also at 6 o'clock, it'll be Mohawk and Arcadia for a sectional final on WQEL. And then at 7:30, we have boys tournament basketball, Buckeye Central Seneca East winner versus Crestline Monroeville winner. That'll be on WQEL from Ashland Crestview High School on 7:30 Friday night. Stay tuned for the tournament schedule on Saturday. That'll be determined by who wins in the district girls come tomorrow. Thanks to everyone here at Colonel Crawford, especially Athletic Director Jake Bruner and John Kreider, my camera operator, for being here tonight. Thank you to Colonel Crawford winter coaches, 8th grade basketball coach Dane Kennedy and his team, 7th grade girls basketball coach Kaylyn Risner and her team. Thanks to our sponsors, most of all you, the viewers, for tuning in on the WQEL Facebook page and Crawford County Now YouTube page. This is Mike Sparks reminding you, a spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. Have a good night, everybody.